What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Loreena McKennitt, and we're returning to the 1994 album The Mask and Mirror. Thank you as always to Michaela for sending this and another album in physical form. I also have access to a live performance of The Mask and Mirror and several albums beyond that, so we've got many chapters in the Loreena story yet to encounter. And also thank you to Yvonne, who sent a track I reacted to as a lucky dip and ultimately turned into the opening of the Loreena deep dive. But the next track on The Mask and Mirror is Santiago. So this is both a given name and a place name. It's probably a surname as well. The most immediate thing that comes to mind is the capital of Chile, but there are other cities which feature Santiago at least as part of their name. And it might not be a name either of a person or a place at all, so I'll just have to see what I can catch, as there is no additional context. It is a single word title, so let's see what it is. This is Loreena McKennitt. The track is Santiago, and it's from her 1994 album, The Mask and Mirror. I was about to say, it feels a bit surprising to hear the song fading in that I feel like I could listen to that indefinitely ultimately, but certainly for more minutes. It feels like, in a live performance, this might go on for an additional 4, 5, 6 minutes. And I'm thinking during that, like, her music is insane. Like, it really transports me to other times, other places, other mental worlds. And the composition of her tracks, the instrumentation of her tracks are just on another level. Never mind her incredible voice. And even though maybe it's slightly less relevant in this case, the lyrics, which seemingly draw off of, mythology, history, like world knowledge, it's just an incredible experience to listen to Loreena McKennitt tunes. In terms of the specifics here, as I said, it feels like there's less or fewer lyrics on the page, meaning a lot of the singing sounds melodic and part of a dance. Like the whole tune feels very, traditional folk type of dance. I'd say sonically it feels somewhere between Celtic music, which seems to be one of her main lanes, if you will, and Spanish music, which, the acoustic guitar, I feel like we hear some castanets. There's some elements that sound like what I understand to be, let's say, more historical, traditional Spanish music. Although, fair to say, like, in modern times we think about Celtic music as being primarily based in, Irish and Scottish and Welsh musical forms, because those are the Celtic tribes, the Celtic cultures that persisted into the modern era. But if you go back far enough, there were Celtic peoples all over Europe, even like when you get to Central and Eastern Europe, but like the Gauls in France, for example, was it the Cimbri? I'm trying to remember, like in my studies of history, I did learn that there were, again, a lot of Celtic peoples that either migrated and mixed with other peoples and, sort of fused into what are now seen as like non-Celtic cultures, but they were across Europe, and it feels like this one is a mixture of sounds more overtly Celtic and, as I said, a bit Spanish, but just the dynamic drumming, which sounds like it's, hand drums, struck drums, as well as like hand claps, and as I said, maybe castanets. There's fiddle slash violin, including some of the most exquisite and impressively or expressively melodic elements of this tune in that form. I think there's maybe cello in there. I think there's maybe pipes. I don't know what type of pipes. Like, what is it, Ulian? I'm forgetting the name. Which are smaller than what are considered, like bagpipes, the way that word is used now. But definitely there's like a wind-based instrument that is really prominent. Of course, her vocal flourishes and expressive tones are a major part of the tune. So if there are lyrics beyond what sounded like a handful of words that are used, again, almost like rhythmically and melodically more than anything else, I didn't really catch them, so I don't quite know what to make of the title of the track, Santiago. But yeah, it's just another transportive experience, and I feel like I'm in this folksy, Celtic, and almost fantastical type of dance experience. So yeah, and another incredible tune from Loreena, just a really mesmerizing performance, which is the type of experience I seem to be having with every one of her tunes. There are 2 left on the album. Again, my eyes are failing me. I did open the... Oh, see, I wasn't wrong. It looks like this next album has 2 parts, and the opening part, which seems to be a question, is in a different language. I do wonder whether that's Irish or some Celtic linguistic form. But then the second part of the title is the 2 trees. So that's what we'll be doing next time. After that, there's one more tune, and then I leave it up to you fine viewers out here. And of course, Michaela, Yvonne, any of you who know her music maybe better than I, please offer an opinion. But I wonder whether we should go through the live performance of Mask and Mirror or on to the second album I have in physical form. Give me one moment because I'm forgetting the name in this particular... Oh, it's the Book of Secrets, 1997. So that's presumably the next album in her, studio album discography. So, yes, I'd be happy to do that. Either way, let me know if you have a notable opinion in that regard. Shout out to Loreena once again for, again, her voice, her composition, her instrumentation, the just experience, the visceral experience of her music. Let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.